Welcome to Childcare Rockstar Radio. I am your host, Kris Murray. Childcare leaders around the globe are breaking through challenges, leading the way in innovation, testing new best practices, and impacting children and families in a much more powerful and positive way than ever before. Each week, join me for interviews with early childhood leaders and experts that will leave you inspired to become the next childcare rockstar. Now, let's go. This is Childcare Rockstar Radio, episode 185, featuring Silvia Sarhadian. Welcome back, everybody. I am very excited for you to be here with me on this episode, and I am excited for you to meet Silvia. We are into the fall of 2024, and if you haven't secured your tickets for the Childcare Success Summit, it's too late. I hate to tell you. I'll be sad not to see you there, but we are sold out in the ballroom, and we're very excited to welcome 1,200 early learning education owners and directors and their teams to Chicago. The Marriott Marquis is where it's all going down, featuring several amazing keynotes, including Layla Ali, Muhammad Ali's daughter. If you don't know all about Layla, she is an incredible motivational, inspirational speaker and athlete. And I'm very excited to meet her and see all of you there. There may be a few last minute tickets and cancellations. So if you want to join the wait list and learn more about that, you can go over to childcaresuccesssummit.com, and we will see you in Chicago on October 9th or 10th. A world-class website with great copy and heartwarming images is the key to keeping your center fully enrolled. Did you know that? And fully staffed, by the way. If it's been a while since you've updated your school's website, or you need more leads to stay fully enrolled, let Grow Your Center fix your problem. We've built over 300 world-class websites for early education programs exclusively, helping them quickly double or triple enrollment, as well as find more teacher candidates. We can also handle your social media and Google Ads, fix your CRM so it works better for you and your team. So learn more today and get started with a free Get Acquainted call at growyourcenter.com/let's go. That's growyourcenter.com/LETSGO. And also, I would like to thank CCEI. They are our other podcast sponsor for this episode. Are you interested in advancing your career in early childhood education? A new partnership with Childcare Education Institute, CCEI, Straighter Line, and the American College of Education seamlessly helps you chart a path to a college degree. They have partnered to offer a variety of convenient online courses and training programs that can help you gain the skills and knowledge you need to succeed. Getting started is easy. Earn or renew your CDA plus 8 other certifications with CCEI and take 5 ECE online courses from Straighter Line for transferable college credit. But don't stop there. You can then continue your education with American College of Education, and your CCEI plus Straighter Line credentials can seamlessly transfer into an ACE undergraduate program. A lot of fun acronyms in this one. ACE's bachelor completion degree programs are designed to maximize the credit you're transferring and help you complete your degree in as little as 15 months, guys. And you can save as much as $30,000 on your BA in education when you transfer CCEI and Straighter Line course credit into that degree program. So you can learn all about it at cceionline.com/ACE-partnership. And we'll put that in the show notes too. It's cceionline.com/A as in Apple, C as in child, E as in educate, -partnerships with an S. Or contact a CCEI enrollment team member today. And let me just give you that phone number. It's 800-499-9907. So thank you to CCEI for helping us bring Childcare Rockstar Radio to this amazing audience. And that includes you, my dear listener, my dear viewer. If you haven't gotten a chance to view the podcast, you can do so on YouTube. So just search up Childcare Rockstar Radio on YouTube and you'll find us over there. And we've got several hundred, close to 200 episodes over there on the YouTubes. So hope everybody's doing great. I hope that you have had an amazing summer into fall transition if you're listening to this real time. And Silvia is my guest today. Silvia has been in my world for about 4 years. She's been a Empire member of the Childcare Success Academy. She is a franchisee. She owns 2 locations of the franchise, The Learning Experience, a very awesome, high quality franchise. They have excellent curriculum, resources, and training. You're going to hear all about the learning experience. And perhaps more importantly, you're going to hear about Silvia and her journey to what I have titled this episode is Never Lead from Fear. And so many of our guests on this podcast talk about being a fearful leader or an unlikely owner of a child care center, which they didn't get into the business intentionally. It just kind of fell in their laps. And sometimes when that happens, they need a little extra, and you might need a little extra support, guidance, coaching, tools in your toolkit, strategies to overcome the challenges that you're facing. And that's what we do here on this podcast. As you know, if you listen to it for any period of time, we talked today with Silvia about her passion for early intervention and differentiated instruction and bringing those tools into her classrooms to help the teachers deal with behavioral challenges for the children. We hear her talk about how she has transformed her leadership, how she includes her team, and how she also takes them on this amazing professional development journey. This is incredibly layered and full-bodied, world-class professional development program that she's got going on over there in New York at the Learning Experience. So I can't wait for you to meet Silvia. I can't wait for you to dive into thinking about, are you ever leading from fear? Do you ever kind of lean back instead of lean forward and have that confident, empathetic leadership that I'm so crazy about? And so let's learn about it. Let's dive in to resilience, to love, and to confident leadership and a really, really amazing communication style here on the podcast with Silvia Sarhadian. Let's go. Enjoy it. Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. I am very excited to introduce you to my guest today, Ms. Silvia Sarhadian. Silvia, how are you today?
Good. I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Where are you right now? Where are you located?
I'm actually in New York, interestingly, from Empire Group, and I live in the Empire State.
Oh, very, very cool. What part of New York are you in?
So my schools are in different locations. One is in New York City, the boroughs and the Queens, and one is upstate New York. And I actually live in Chester, New York.
All right. So tell us a little bit more about your business, how many locations, and just a little bit more about the your brands, how you've come up, through the journey in childcare as a childcare owner.
Yeah, absolutely. So we currently have 2, and we're trying to open more schools, as you know. So that's what we're working on. Very heavily focused on expanding. We are about 320 children at the moment. We potentially could add another 300 to our roster.
Wow.
And how did I start my journey? Wow. So by trade, I'm a chemist. So it's very far from where I am. And when I started my career, it was in banking. So coming from an entrepreneurial family, I always wanted to have my own business. Started as a banker, grew in the banking system, and then I'm like, this is not my calling. So being a chemist, went to high school system. So I taught 12th graders AP chemistry. That was not my calling. So I started my journey with my PhD program in early childhood education, fell in love with it. Wanted to have a business. I always wanted to have my own business. Couldn't get the courage to do it until I met my husband. And he was my rock, and I was able to live my dream. So that's how we ended up getting our very, very first school. And that's how I ended up in early childhood education and fell in love with it ever since.
And what year was that, Silvia?
That was 2016.
Okay. So you've been doing this work for about 8, going on 9 years.
Yeah.
And what are the brands of your schools?
We're learning experience.
They're both learning experience.
Correct.
Okay. Which is a franchise.
Correct.
Awesome. And with regard to your PhD, did you complete? So am I talking to a doctor right now?
The doctoral candidate. So I am at my final stage. I'm doing my dissertation. And I can tell you a little bit about that. So it is in early childhood education, focused on early childhood educators. So within next year, May, yes, then I would finish my PhD.
Wow. Well, I'm very excited for you to be in that phase and be on, towards the finish line of this journey. I know it can be a long journey to get your doctorate, and I'm excited to celebrate you when that day comes.
Thank you.
Yay. And you are an Empire level member of the Childcare Success Academy in our tribe. And how long have you been with us in the Academy?
So the Academy, I've been with 4 years, Empire 3. So I updated very quickly. Yeah.
And I have loved having you and your hubby in the group. You're always very fun and great energy and very open, and you share great stuff. Now, let's talk a little bit about your expansion dreams. So tell us more about some goals that you have with regard to expansion. What's your vision?
So being an Empire member, I think we are the smallest of the Empire members. So I aspire to be the Empire members. So and lately, all the conversations have been about what's next, what's the future, what are we doing? And when we sit down and we do our dream as what are the things that we want to do, what we want to achieve, what is our retirement? So we want to be able to retire at least $10 million. So that's the goal, to be able to expand to that level. And it's not just all about money. It's all about putting our experience in action and help families, help our communities. That's our mission. But then that's the goal. That's the expansion goal, to get potentially 3 or 4 more schools within the next 2 or 3 years. Okay,
cool. So we counsel you and we coach folks, especially in the Empire track, all about how to have your exit strategy in place, how to have your number, your wealth number. And that's what you just shared with us. So I want to commend you and congratulate you on having the clarity of what you want your wealth number to look like. And of course, that translates through impact of children. So that is a huge impact in your communities. Once you get there and you continue to build 3 or 4 more locations and get to that revenue or their business valuation of 10 million. So thank you for sharing that, because for folks listening, if one of the secrets to success is to begin with the end in mind. And Silvia just modeled that for everybody, to really have a very clear-cut vision of where you want to go with your business, because you'll be much more likely to hit it if you have a very distinct goal. Otherwise, you're just kind of meandering willy-nilly and you don't really know where you're headed. So thanks for sharing that. And thanks for that openness and vulnerability to share that. That's great. Tell us a little bit about your personal and home life. You mentioned your husband, and I would also love to know a fun fact. What is something that not that many people know about you?
I'm a ballroom dancer. Probably nobody knows.
Oh, a ballroom dancer. How fun.
Yeah, nobody knows that about me.
Yeah.
It's been years that I've been doing it.
Oh, cool.
Fun fact about me.
Yeah.
I recently have grown to love gardening. That's why we ended up leaving our beautiful condo, and I wanted a land. So I am actually building an orchard. I am building a vineyard, and I had all my garden all throughout the summer, and that's my Zen space. And that's what I also learned from the Academy, that you need to have that space to take care of yourself, to be able to take care of everybody else. And that's where I am. So basically my life is all the business, the teachers, the children, my husband, my dogs, and my garden.
I love that. That's great. Thanks for sharing that. Very, very cool. Let's talk a little bit more about your schools. You have been in the business since 2016. You have 2 learning experience locations. What are some of the things that you're really proud of when it comes to your program, things that you feel set you apart in your community and ways that you give back to children and families?
Sure. So we're the learning experience, and our curriculum is really second to none. So we are really proud of our curriculum. We do provide our teachers with a lot of resources and a lot of training, and our systems are really unique to the learning experience. So I've never had to worry about the system. How are the rosters kept? How are the records kept? How are all of that is all done for us, and that's what I am very proud to be a part of the franchise. And that's where we stand. And what makes us unique is actually our mission statement. Our mission statement is to make a positive impact in the life of the families and the communities that we serve. And that's what we live every single day, from our teachers to anybody on our staff and owners as well. When we come in, we do partner with Make-A-Wish Foundation, and that's one of the biggest philanthropy events we hold, and that's something very near to my heart, and we enjoy doing that. We're proud owners of 2 grants per year, so we do grant 2 wishes per year.
Wow.
To families in need in our community, and that's what I loved about being a part of the learning experience as well.
That's
So
very, very
that's what
cool.
sets us apart, and when the families come into our schools, they get that sense of community.
Mm-hmm. Love that. Thanks for sharing that. The Make-A-Wish program is so fulfilling.
Yes.
Yeah, just such a beautiful, beautiful program. Tell us a little bit more about how you have grown personally and professionally since starting your business. How have you transformed, or what are the biggest ways that you feel that you've grown?
I think I have grown to be more resilient. I have grown to have more confidence in the decisions that I make. I have learned how to lead, coming from banking, being responsible only for my own goals, and now leading a team of 70 to 90 team members.
Mm-hmm.
A big task. And when I look back to 8 years ago, I see a very different Silvia than 8 years ago. The way that I communicate with my even teachers, with my own family has changed based on the experience I've gained and the emotional world that we're in. We all wear our hearts on our sleeves, and we walk in every day, and that makes it a different dynamics than just being in banking or any other professional world. And that's what I've learned. I think my biggest growth has been communication and leadership and confidence.
Nice. So let's talk a little bit more about that. What are some of the actual nuts and bolts things that you do to communicate, and or like how you actually lead your team of leaders? What are some practices that you follow in terms of how you lead, or what your leadership style is, and communication? Like, if you're being a reflection of a better communicator, what does that actually look like in terms of practicality? Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course. So it's always a challenge, right? Communication. It's clear communication has always also been a challenge for me too, because 2 different people can get one topic in 2 different ways. They're interpreted in different ways. So what I have learned, it's the clear communication from top, from me to my directors, and from my directors with love to our staff. So what I have implemented, being in the PhD program and doing teacher satisfaction as my dissertation, obviously my schools need to have teacher satisfaction, right?
Right.
So through that, I learned that a lot of our teachers in the world of early childhood education, they do not see themselves as educators or teachers. They just see themselves, I'm coming in, taking care of the children. If I feed them and keep them safe, that is it. So that kind of gave me a cue of, we need to work on this. So we have a very collaborative community here. We do make decisions together with our teachers for them to feel empowered, and also they get a feeling that they are involved in our decision making. So if we're making a large decision for the next school year, we do have a meeting. We all talk, and we hear them. Sometimes they're really, really good ideas that come from that collaborative move, and that's how we address, and that's how we make the decisions. So that's been very helpful throughout the process. We communicate constantly throughout the day, and we do have our communication through our page system. So we do have that. That's just the little knickknacks here and there, the appreciation, and also giving them an idea of what's going on in the world of my directors. Because normally teachers are in their own classrooms and they don't see what's going on. And I think that's really important for them to know, hey, today we're having a difficult day because we have 4 people out. So how do we do this? And once they have that clear communication, look, this is where we are, and this is how we get to pull together. We get to pull together and have a school today. So it's not like we have to, we get to do this, and we do it with love. And I think that's made a big difference.
Awesome. You mentioned as we were going into the podcast before we hit the record button that today is your first day of back to school in your school system and or in your preschools. So how did it go today on your back to school journey? Do you feel like it was pretty smooth, or just share a little bit more about either the ups and downs or anything that you want to share about your back to school season right now? You're experiencing it live.
Was it totally smooth? I can't lie about it. No, obviously.
I don't think it ever is.
Yeah. So as prepared as we are, there are new kids coming into the program, and there are a lot of tears. There are a lot of parents who are dropping off the very first time. So we have to deal with the tears of the parents. But overall, I feel like my staff was well prepared to have those difficult conversations, difficult separations of children, and being able to hold them together and have a really exciting first day of school. And now it's almost the end of the day. And I actually witnessed some of our kids don't want to go home because they actually had a really good day. And I take that a really big win for the first day of school.
Yes.
But of course, we had our challenges too.
Of course. Yeah, I remember how that feels. And I remember putting my daughter, who is my younger one, on the bus to go to kindergarten for the very first time. I almost feel like that was yesterday. And I can't believe that it's 13, 14 years ago. So
time flies.
Yeah, time totally flies. Let's talk a little bit about being a franchisee. I agree with you. The learning experience is an excellent model for curriculum. And I'm so glad that they're giving you great resources and training and all that support as a franchisee. What are some unique challenges about being a franchisee? If you're okay to share, not necessarily about TLE, but just in general, I'm sure you're friends with a lot of franchisees, and I'm sure that there's really good benefits about it, but also potentially maybe some challenges about it. So if you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit about your perspective there.
Of course. So as great as it is, there are areas that as a franchisee, we don't get to have our opinion in it. So one of the biggest challenges I feel with our particular franchise is that we do pull our resources together. We do have great advertisement going on. But because these are not made for each individual school, they're just made for the learning experience. They may not be the best message for our particular community. So that's one of the challenges, although we are very full and we don't have any spots. But then again, that's something when COVID hit and we needed to have more advertisement, we felt like a message that will work well in Florida does not work well in New York City or my other locations. So that's one of the challenges. The other thing I feel like, we get a turnkey operation always, which is wonderful. So we don't have to go through the chaos of building or construction. However, these, and I learned this from you in Empire Group, that we want to be at 17 or 18% of rent, but these rents are already negotiated. So we come in with a higher amount, but we do not have that power to renegotiate and bring it to 17 or 18%. And that's been, for me, that's been 3-4% of the profit that I could get, but I'm not, because I got to pay it to the landlord. So that particularly is a bit not challenging, but it could be better.
Right. Yeah, I totally get that. And then of course you've got the fees that you're paying into the franchise corporate as well as part of your, your revenue goes there as well. So the pluses and minuses, yes, you get a turnkey operation with systems that everything's done for you. And so for that, you're paying some of your profit is going to that. You have to give up a few points in profit for that turnkey component. So yeah, I get that. And so for some people, that would be a perfect situation. And then for others, they want to just do it on their own and keep all the profits. So for those listening, there's a lot of potential startups listening to this podcast. And so it gives you guys more information about which direction to go and what are some of the benefits, the pros and cons. There's some amazing franchise operations out there, and in this country, I see a lot of quality. The thing that I feel the franchises bring to the early childhood industry is we haven't really talked about franchises much on this podcast because most of our folks are non-franchise. Is I do believe that a really good representation of high quality ECE, high quality programs, high quality childcare, great curriculums. All of those pieces and parts, I think, are really, really well represented by franchises in general. So, so I love that because I'm all about high quality, right, Silvia?
Yeah, absolutely. The amount of resources that we get, I mean, with having over 400 centers, so the resources that we get is obvious. All the experience that we have nationwide and now in London as well. So we do get the benefit of the experience that collectively with the world of early childhood education we have, and that's priceless.
Yeah, love that. So you mentioned earlier about in terms of growth, personal growth, professional growth, you mentioned the word resilience. And I want to talk a little bit about mindset because, of course, with your confidence in your leadership, and better communication as a leader, resilience also is fostered by a really growth mindset or a stronger mindset. And so talk a little bit about your mindset now. We're 4 years past COVID, or we might say 3 years past COVID because it had that linger. And talk a little bit about your mindset. Where are you today? How do you feel? How do you support that positive mindset? What are some practices that you might share, or just anything else that you want to share about mindset and resilience?
Absolutely. So I just started giving a lot of trainings to my own staff, and then I've been doing it with a lot of other centers around us because we realized after COVID, especially with behavioral challenges, leaving our teachers on their own, and it's difficult for them. So that has been the mindset of growth with us, to be able to uplift our teachers and give them practical ways of handling their classrooms. So those are the trainings that I do give to my own teachers, and then also do it with other schools as well. That has been very powerful because after COVID, we all have been through that, and then we all thought we're never going to get out of it. But obviously, we are here and we're growing faster than what it was before. But the challenges will need to be addressed. And one of the biggest challenges, I think, right now is a lot of behavioral issues and early childhood, early interventions that is happening. So that's where we're focusing. I think that would be the biggest opportunity of growth for everyone in the world of early childhood education, to really learn how to deal with this. Is not going anywhere. So we need to figure it out, and we need to bring resources to our school. So that's how we've been dealing with it, having ABA therapists on site. That has been very helpful with our teachers, and then constantly giving them that professional development. That has been the biggest piece. With my PhD, that's the world I'm in. So I like to bring that in with my own staff and other staff that I coach. But that's the piece that you need to lift yourself up. And if there's a day that is not going well, we need to sit back and take a step back and look at it. What works, what doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, then what are we going to do about it? And that's been helping a lot. And that's what we've been doing with our growth mindset, to even grow our teachers with their own classroom. All these classrooms in silo working in harmony all together. That's where we are trying to get everybody. You are the CEO of your own classroom. what is the need of your classroom? What are the challenges of your classroom? How can you make your classroom a better place to live within our ecosystem? And that's been great.
Mm-hmm. So let's dive in a little bit more on that, because I love that. The professional development piece and your communication piece, giving them the resources for helping children have better behavioral models. What are some, if you want to share either some resources, and I'm also interested in how you do professional development. Are you doing some workshops and classes and trainings in-house with all 70 to 80 of your team, or are you sending them off or putting them on online classes? Talk more about what's your structure for all of that?
So it's a combination of all.
Okay.
We do have our monthly meetings always, and our monthly meetings are really focused on one challenge that we particularly had that month. So that's the monthly meeting with everybody together. However, we also separated our age groups, and we have our infant group, toddler group, and then we have the 2s and 3s and 4s. So we actually take them out, and we do bring guest speakers to have those trainings with our teachers. Then we do have online resources. Thankfully, New York State has a lot of good resources through our OCFS website. So that's really good. And then also we are a part of Department of Education, because we do have the UPK program. We do get a lot of resources and a lot of webinars and seminars through Department of Education.
Okay.
And that's where I signed them up. And also we have the Empire Group, the teacher groups that my directors and my teachers take a lot of good information out of that. But then also I am very involved with it. And we do have a couple of days that we closed. So 2 days a year, we're completely closed to families. And we have those two days that are fully professional development. Then we do take our staff to retreats, and those retreats are also the fun and also the training part of that. And that's more of all right, what's going on in the world of early childhood education? What's the current research? Because there's experience and there's the research. So the new methods of dealing with stuff. So that's how we work on those retreats. So we have the experience, these are the new research. So let's merge them together and see what works and what doesn't work.
Cool. I love all the layers that you have in professional development. That's very, very cool.
And I do send them a lot of videos, and I do send them a lot of newsletter items, what's coming up, because I read a lot and I listen to a lot of podcasts, a lot of seminars, webinars, and all of that. And I do send them monthly newsletter from me to say, okay, these are the things that I'm learning. What are the things that you're learning? Let's share together.
Mm-hmm. So what do you use for communication tools in terms of technology when you're sending them things and links and resources? Are you using Slack for that, or what are you using?
Great part of being a franchise, we do have Happy Hub.
Okay, cool.
Of Slack that we use, and everybody company-wide is there, and teachers can actually share resources with each other.
Nice. Happy Hub. That's cute.
Yeah.
Love that. Cool. So it sounds like you are very positive and just excited about where the early childhood education industry is headed, because I'm feeling a lot of really good energy from you around the potential for where we're headed in this industry, which is great. Tell us a little bit more about any other innovation or ideas or things that you are working on, plans for how to continue to take it to the next level, or because you talked about also that you're coaching others as well. So just share anything else that you're excited about right now in terms of innovation and the future with where you're headed.
So with us, I believe it's early intervention world. So we do not have early intervention right now at our centers, but that's what we've been kind of going through and doing a little bit research of how can we bring the world of early childhood, early intervention, and combine it with early childhood education, because there are ways to do that. And we know people who do it in our own circle as well. So that's where I think we are trying to get into, and speaking to experts in the area. I think that's where we're going to end up being, adding those schools, because at the end of the day, it's the impact that we bring to our families and our communities. And I believe that would be the biggest impact we can do, having a child who will be able to feel like I am going to to the school with everybody else, but then we meet them at where they are and their individual needs are met, and we're differentiating our instructions for them. That's where my focus is. Differentiated instruction is going to be big for me this and for the next 2 years. And that's what I'm focusing on, training with the teachers as well.
Cool. Differentiated instruction. Love that. Talk about being a member of the Childcare Success Academy. What have you loved most about being in our tribe?
Everything about it. It's a very lonely world where we are. It is very lonely. And to be honest, when I found you, I was at my lowest, just like, yes, everybody shares this. And I think it's the truth. I was at my very lowest point in my career, to a point that I'm done. I don't want to do this. And therefore I started researching. There's somebody can help me here. There's something should be out there. And then your videos came up. You had those flip charts, and you were writing, and you were taking from those days. And that's how I met the group, and immediately talked to my husband. We're like, look, what do we have to lose? We're going to join the academy. So we joined the academy. I talk about it all the time. When I was a part of Freedom in our masterminds, I was the one lost all the time, taking notes, gazillion pages of notes. And then about a year in, I found myself being the one talking about, oh yeah, if you're having trouble with this, this is what you can do. This is what you can do. And then when I talked to my coach, and she recommended that I move to Empire, and was all over again, me being the smallest one, writing gazillion notes and implementing everything. But the biggest thing is the relationships that I've created in the academy, those bonds that I have with others. And I know that honest and open communication, if I'm in trouble, I can call anybody at the academy, from the coaches and to my friends in the academy, and everybody to help. It's such a great feeling, and it's no longer lonely.
Yeah, I love that. It makes me feel so happy when I do this podcast and I think about all the folks that felt so alone and felt so at their wits' end, and thinking about even closing their doors. How many businesses and schools we may have either saved or helped you, just feel happy again, and not that you're not alone. And that is everything to me. I just got chills talking about it. So thank you for sharing that, Silvia. That's really, really special. Looking back, if you were in a magic time machine and you could do something differently, what one thing would you have maybe considered doing differently in your life?
In my life or in my childcare?
Well, whatever you want to share, either one or both.
All right. I don't think I would change the world I'm in, because I do love what I do. Honestly, I do love what I do. And I don't think anything will change in that. What I would change is I would join the Success Academy a lot earlier in life. So I have my tribe. But I think what I would change is the way that I recruit my team. And that's something that has not been there before. Knowing who to bring on, knowing their personalities, the assessments, and are they going to be a part of my vision, or are they just going to be here to just walk on my bus? And that's not what I want. And that's what I've learned. And that's what I would do differently. I will definitely hire for the vision. And then I will teach the skills. And that's what we've been doing. And that's one thing. And I will never lead from fear. And that would be the difference. Yeah. Never from fear.
Never lead from fear. That's a writer downer. That's good. Yeah, because we talk a lot about how to overcome fears. We all have fears. But what I've taught a lot about, it's a big topic, is the antidote to fear, which is taking baby steps of action. or how to act in the face of fear, even if you feel the fear, how to act anyway with the fear. You basically embrace the fear and use it as a tool to shift everything and then continue on. And then I love what you said, never lead from fear. So putting that leadership spin on it. Very powerful. You mentioned that you're a big reader. So I thought I'd ask you if you would please share 2 or 3 of your favorite books with regard to either, leadership, mindset, childcare, anything that you want to share around also early intervention tactics or any kind of really great resources that you love.
So Simon Sinek's books, always. Lately,
Nice.
I have, yeah, always. My favorite is The Servant Leader. That's always my favorite book to read. Recently, we've been doing the Dream Builders with my team, so we're doing that.
Cool.
And a lot of your books, of course. The Happy. If I actually have it behind me right here, the Happy Teachers.
Yeah.
I love that book, and so majority of them are mostly about the leadership books. I just got into a series that I am reading. It's the Badass Buddha, I think. Badass Buddha, yes.
Oh, the Badass Buddha.
Buddha. So that is kind of giving me a lot of, okay, my own mindset and then my team's mindset. And that's where we're going with this, all the mindset. Basically, whatever book you're reading and you're sending in your newsletter, that's on my next reading title.
Cool. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah. Those are all great. And just in case people are looking for a resource for helping their teachers have better mindsets, the Happiness Guide for Early Educators is the one that Silvia was referring to, which I co-wrote. And I'm very proud of that book. So thanks for giving that a shout out. What are you most looking forward to for the rest of 2024 and into 2025? It sounds like your dissertation, having that done, walking down to get your doctorate, to get your actual degree done, I'm sure is on the list. Anything else that you are looking forward to?
I think I am looking forward to finishing the year strong based on all the work we've put in from 2023, 2024 with our trainings with our teachers in resiliency. And that's paying off. And I am looking forward to that. And being in New York City with having the UPK here with us, I feel like we are going towards a better early childhood education with resources. And that makes me really happy. And I am pumped to like, all right, let's look at 2025. What's there in the world of ECE and what can we bring on and what can we just leave behind with COVID?
Mm-hmm. How can people learn more about you? If you would like to share your contact information or your website, Silvia, how can people find you?
So they could always find me at the Learning Experience of Astoria, the Learning Experience of Middletown, and I can share my number and email if anybody has questions. I'm here.
All right. Well, we'll put that information in the show notes. And is there anything else that you would like to share with our audience before we say goodbye? Any final thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. And this probably sounds cliche, but I have to say it. Don't feel alone and don't give up because there's help out there. And that's my main thought to tell everybody that it's join a group that can help you, guide you through difficult times. And there's always light at the end of the tunnel, and you just need to find that light. And there are people to help you with that. And
Love that.
Also, can I thank my coaches?
Of course.
All my coaches, all the Success Academy group. I could have not done it without you. And I really, really thank you.
Thank you for sharing that, Silvia. Really appreciate that. And it was funny too that you brought up finding me on the YouTube channel with the flip charts and the whiteboard, those older videos, which I've made a few of those more recently. Most of them are several years old, but they still get tons of views. So if you're listening to this and you also just want some free tips, some free content, you can go to my YouTube channel, Childcare Success, or just, Google Kris Murray on YouTube. I've got about, I don't know, I want to say between 200 and 300 of those videos. And you can mostly find any topic that you're looking for in terms of getting some free support, tips, and ideas. So I wanted to give my old videos a shout out because they still are helping people. And I'm still proud of them, even though they're about 17 hairstyles ago. They still help people. So they're still up there. And I just also love helping people for free because I know there's somebody out there suffering at 2 a.m. and hopefully they can get some guidance and some support from those. But yeah, thank you for that final comment. Cause that's like, so, might feel cliche, but for those people that really need to hear that, they're listening to you say that and to myself. And we're here to help. So please don't just sit there and suffer in silence. Reach out, find a group, contact us, or just find a local community group that can help you, because we want everybody in this industry to survive and thrive and continue filling your own cup so you can fill the cup of others, so they can fill the cup of the children, and on and on and on. So that's what we're here for.
Yeah, absolutely. Back to basics. That's what you taught us. And it's always back to basics.
Back to basics. Yeah. Silvia, one other cool thing about this episode, this entire summer, my neon sign has been broken and there was a gap in my wall because the sign was at the sign fixing shop. So the Childcare, I know you're the one that brought back the light and the shine into this podcast with this episode. It's very fitting.
Great.
Yeah. So we got the sign back, y'all. So I'm happy.
Let's shine bright, everybody.
Let's shine bright.
Yeah.
Silvia Sarhadian, thank you so much coming to us from New York today. I really appreciate you and everything that you do, your energy, your passion, and wanting to make a difference. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Take care and God bless. And thanks for tuning into the podcast. And we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
I hope you liked this episode of Childcare Rockstar Radio. If you did, please leave a review and share it with someone you know to help spread the word to friends in our industry and on social media. Childcare business success is my passion, and I'm honored to be on this journey with you. As a thank you for listening, I've got a new video training that shows you how to add 6 figures or more of new revenue to your program in the next 60 days by improving your hiring and your enrollment systems. To watch my new video, just go to www.fixmyschool.com. That's fixmyschool.com. Thanks. Take care and God bless.